Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are not following me on Instagram, you missed the story where I was sent an entire full face worth of Jouer cosmetics. So today we are putting all of it to the test, every single product here, seeing if we can do an entire face and what we think of every product along the way. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching. Words are hard today. And make sure to subscribe because I upload every other day. That'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into a full face of Jouer with me, stay tuned. Alright, so my face is already prepped, and we're doing that thing today where my curls just keep falling lower and lower on the forehead, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot up here today. First thing I'm going to try out, I did already prep the skin, is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation. Now, I purchased this a very long time ago, and the shade was so unbelievably light on me that I had to give it away to a friend. So I've only actually tried it once, and the color was way too light. So I am wearing the shade Cool Beige, or I'm trying the shade Cool Beige, and I will be using that on the Jouer Paddle Foundation brush. Now, it does recommend on the site to go in with a very small amount. So I'm going to take one pump, and I am going to dot that around the face and just move it around, because this stuff is supposedly super high coverage, and we don't want to have a whole cakey face today. So in this instance, less is more, and I'm just going to blend that out with the paddle brush. Right off the bat, that is absolutely full coverage. I would not go in with more. You know, lately I have been shearing out my full coverage foundations, if I even wear a full coverage foundation. And I tend to go in more with a lightweight tinted moisturizer instead. But that super quickly just evened everything out. Like, I think I need to add a tiny bit more to my nose, which I'm going to do like less than a drop, just because I have a broken capillary blood vessel thing on the center of my nose. So for me, I always need a little extra coverage right there. I really like the teardrop shape of the brush. It is getting right into my under eye nice and easy. And if I look to my neck, I think this is a really, and then I cover the screen so you can't even see. If I look to my neck, it looks like a really good match. I was afraid when I swatched it on my fingers that it would be way too dark. And they asked me what shade I wanted, and this is the one I chose, and then I was scared and I second-guessed myself. I just need to stop second-guessing myself and just go with the color I think. They did send me both of their concealers. They are both in the shade Toast. This one is the Essential High Coverage Concealer Pen, and this is the Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of the liquid first, because this is more the type of formula I tend to like. But I'm probably, just to see how the other one works, going to try that too. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer just where I want to brighten and add a little extra coverage. Definitely a good shade match. Like, I didn't pick the concealer, I just picked the foundation shade, and they sent me whichever ones I guess they expected to be the appropriate match. And I think I'm getting some nice brightness off of that. Yeah, that's definitely brightening nicely. I will say that I do like my under eyes to be a little bit brighter. So I'm going to check the other formula, because sometimes, even though the colors are the same, or it's called the same, sometimes a cream formula will be a little lighter or a little darker. So we shall see. I'm also going to grab a sponge for the concealer, just because this brush is great for the foundation, but I definitely feel like I want a little bit more control when I'm blending out my nose. Okay, so the pen concealer has like a clicky button, so I'm going to take that. Actually, that is a little bit lighter. So I'm going to take a little bit of that just in the socket of the under eye. I'm going to use this as my lid primer today, and I am going to blend that out with the sponge this time instead of the brush. That looks nice. Now for complexion, Jouer gets rave reviews, so like, I'm not surprised that this stuff is working really well, but you know me, I'm notoriously super picky. So, like, I always expect the worst, and I know that's the wrong attitude to have, but that's just how things tend to work for me, is that I get excited about something and then it's just okay. But for something that is full coverage, knowing I have not worn full coverage in a very long time, I think my skin is still breathing. It's not cakey. It doesn't look heavy. I haven't powdered yet, but I'm still liking it. I'm going to next jump into the Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. This is in the shade Light, and it is a pressed powder. I guess it's a setting powder. I guess you can use it as a powder foundation. I am going to take that on a soft, fluffy brush and just start by setting down anywhere I put the concealer. And then with whatever's left on my brush, just going to lightly set down everything else. All right, so far so good. Next, we're going to go into, let's go into bronzer. So this is the Duo Light to Medium Bronzer Duo. Definitely like a bronzer contour. I think this lighter shade might be nice to blend out the edges, but I'm going to start by going in with the darker shade. It's definitely a little more on the neutral side, so it's not super warm. So I can tell right away from the pan that it's not going to lean orange, which I like. So it definitely does sculpt the face nicely. I'm going to go into some of the lighter shade just to soften the edges. Yeah, you see how that just chisels the cheekbones super nicely? I will be honest, bronzer is one of those products that I have ones that I've liked and ones that I've loved, but I have yet to find like the holy grail bronzer that has made it longer than a year. Like, there was a while where I really liked the Marc Jacobs one, but then I kind of just stopped liking it. Like right now, lately, I've been using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I've been back on that one. But this one might be able to replace that, because I've noticed lately my bronzer looking really warm. And even though I do like to follow it up with blush and warm up the cheeks with that, I definitely like my bronzer to be a little bit more like cool and chiseled. So I'm definitely enjoying this. All right, next going into blush. They did send two. One of them is a Blush and Bloom Uplift Cheek and Lip Duo, which is a cream. One of which is the Rose Gold Blush Duo, which are powders. I'm going to use the powder today. And it's said in the little thing on the site, start with this one for color and then diffuse it with that one to add some texture and dimension. So I'm going to follow instructions for once, because you know I notoriously don't. So I'm going to start by taking the lighter shade, and I'm going to press that over the cheeks. A little bit of blush, when you see the before and after, just makes such a big difference when you're talking about your cheeks. Like, tell me this side doesn't look healthier than the side without blush. And then with the same brush going into the next shade, I'm going to focus that on the upper portion of the cheekbones, just because it's a little more of a luminous powder. So I want to get a little bit more of that like highlight. Okay, it's definitely not like super glowy. It's more of a natural finish or a satin finish, which I think is good for a blush, because you know me, I'm going to end up going in with highlighter on top anyway, so I might as well, you know, have this blush really be worked into the cheeks and temples and just giving a soft glow, and then we can really amp it up with highlight after. I am going to take a tiny bit of setting spray just to lock it in place and press over everything with my sponge. This is not specific to this one. If you've seen my channel before, you know I do this after blush every time I do my makeup, just because I find it presses everything into the skin a little bit nicer and gives everything this really like lit from within glow. And see how that like brought the cheeks to life? Like even before I go in with a highlighter, which don't worry, we are going in with a highlighter, It just kind of brings everything to life with a little bit of glow. I am going to be sparing with the highlighter though because I don't want to be too intense, but this is the Rose Quartz Powder Highlighter. Definitely a pretty shade, especially for what I like. Now, from what I was reading, this is not super glittery. It's more of a high shine highlighter, which you know I kind of like both. But it's definitely beautiful, not accentuating any texture on the cheek. I haven't used a highlighter like this in a while. Lately, I've been really focusing on these glittery highlighters. And you know me, I love a good glittery highlighter. But sometimes it's nice to mix it up. As always, going back into the blush brush, I'm just going to blend a little more blush over the highlighter in these small circular motions. And that's going to have everything blend together so that it's a little less stripy on the cheek and everything melts together a little bit more. Okay, so the complexion looks absolutely beautiful. I do have a little bit of something I must not have blended properly on the chin, but aside from that, I feel like my skin looks super healthy, super youthful, nice and glowy, and even when I look up close, it is not accentuating texture, it's not settling into my pores, it's not sitting on top of my skin, which is a problem I have with a lot of foundations, is that they just sit on my skin. So I have no complaints on anything so far. I think this brush is going to become like a new staple because my under eyes look beautiful right now. It's just super smooth and there's no texture under there. So I'm a fan. All right, I am going to jump into lip next. So they sent 3 lip products. One is the Essential Lip Enhancer, which actually came in a BoxyCharm a while ago. So I already know I like this, and I actually prepped my lips with this today earlier so that they wouldn't be super dry and they are nice and hydrated. The other 2 products they sent were the Essential Lip Enhancer Shine Balm in the shade Rose and the Essential Hydrating Lip Oil in the shade Natural Shine. This, however, has apricot oil, which my husband is deathly allergic to. So I'm going to be not putting that on my lips because I don't want to kill my husband, and I'm going to go in with this one instead. Definitely a nice color. As far as balms go, it is super soft. Like I feel like if I twist this up too much and I apply pressure, it is going to absolutely get everywhere. So make sure you only take it up a tiny bit, because when you put it to your lips, you like feel your lips imprinting on the bullet, and you can kind of see it getting on the side. So definitely just don't twist it up too much. A little bit goes a very long way. But it's definitely nice and smoothing. It's a very beautiful color. It's nice and refreshing. I'm a fan. All right, this is nice. I'm going to do one last spray of setting spray to lock everything in. And I don't have anything as far as eyes, and I don't have anything as far as brows. So this is as far as we are going to take it today. But I will be honest, there's not a single thing that I have tried here today that I don't think worked and looked well. Now, I am going to have to put the Blush and Bloom Uplift Cheek and Lip Duo to the test, because it does have these 2. One is more mauve-y, one is more rosy. And just off of a first look, these are not really colors I think I would use as a blush. You know I notoriously don't love cream blushes. I'll probably try it just to say I tried it. But these are colors that for me are beautiful on the lips. So I'm definitely going to try that out. I also did forget, they also sent over the hand-to-hand alcohol antiseptic hand sanitizer. So why not? Smells like hand sanitizer. Doesn't feel sticky. So all in all, that's good too. So let me know what you think. I think my skin looks so radiant and so beautiful. And I'm probably going to throw an eye look on when I'm done with this just to say that I did so I can see it all together. But just like with this so far, I think I might have some new favorites among the products here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for joining me on this full face so far-ish of Jouer and seeing how everything worked out. Thank you again, and let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!